Man, I'm hot.
Simmer down. What are we doing?
There we go.
Got you again.
Sheesh.
I was getting scared.
Can you stop? It hurts my ears.
Maybe
All
turn
right,
your headset
now
down.
we done?
My ear.
Are we done? No, we're starting.
Loud noises.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back
Now they're
to the
confused.
podcast, episode number 24. Kobe.
Too soon.
No, it's not. That was
That
too
was. Too
you might have to cut that out.
Nope. I'm leaving it in. Everyone comment
we
your hate
have-
towards Levi.
our sports typical update. I know it might be boring to start with, but it gets it out of the way.
I like having to put it. I like having to put that in the description. Like I keep having. I run out of fun ways to put that when I put it on the guys talk about their sports update again. It's like I don't know. I can't come up with more creative ways to say it.
You don't have to put that in the description.
The boys,
I should probably stop. It's just probably assumed.
Yeah.
It's like saying this is a podcast.
Which
it's
and then we
not.
have
it's an
another
interactive video.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No.
We're fancy.
I'm smart
now.
sometimes.
If you scroll ahead, you'll skip. You can skip
You just want to skip this part. If you don't like sports, you can just skip it on the bottom. Like
We may or may not have clips
chapters.
Just like skip
coming
it if you
out
don't like football.
of gaming. Maybe.
No,
There's actually.
I wasn't gonna. That's
Not
hard to
even
clip.
Shorts.
It's hard to clip.
No, it's not.
And why make it?
No,
No.
probably not going to be shorts
Okay,
coming
fine.
out of that.
But I do want to try to re-record it. Record it another.
Yeah, we'll
with
do
it
something different.
We'll figure it out someday.
That's going to have to be on a day we're not doing a lot of things because I have basketball now.
Life
Ooh,
update,
wait.
which is more like life story.
It's like in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. I was like, I
It's not like now.
Yeah.
was like, there's no way.
So we'll start off with our sports updates. Fantasy football. Woo! I got another win.
Oh, you be.
Yes!
Gosh.
We're here now. My team has finally stayed
Well,
healthy,
you're
and
until
my
next week
opponent
when he scores
has
85.
not.
Who are you? Who'd you beat?
I
He
beat
beat
Dad.
Dad with
Oh,
a guy with
yeah,
a torn
okay,
ACL.
well, so
Yeah,
everyone's beat
the
Dad, let's be
injuries
real.
are piling up on people not named Ethan now.
It's just Dad.
it's flipped.
No,
He's lost
Ben had
3
to
wide
get someone
receivers with torn
different.
ACLs.
I did have to get someone different, but it was actually an upgrade. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't have to get someone different. I chose to get a different tight end because my kicker was injured. So I was like, I'll get a different tight end. Which I forgot to mention
Why
that
does
last
that
time.
make sense?
The last time we had.
My kicker's injured, so let me get a tight end.
Listen, okay. The last time I forgot to mention this last time, but you know how I said I've never
You can
traded.
drop him. He's
I-
on the bench now.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
Richardson's benched.
That's tough.
He's not a starting quarterback. It doesn't matter.
Anyway. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What if your
I don't
quarterback
know.
has a bye week and you don't have a backup quarterback?
So,
because Richardson is.
I
one of
forgot
the-
that
There's other
I
quarterbacks that are always
I haven't
out.
traded at all. Never did a trade until recently.
That wasn't even a trade.
Sorry, not trade, a
Signing.
pickup. I signed a guy. I've never done that. I haven't traded. I haven't moved. I haven't done anything with my team. My team is the original draft team, except recently where I drafted a tight end because all my tight ends were kind of junk, and I wanted to try to get more projected points when whoever I was playing. I think I still lost that game, but I was like, I need to get more projected points than my opponent, so I just drafted a tight end because my other kicker's injured. Because I have two
Signed.
kickers.
He meant signed.
Signed, yeah.
So he dropped his hurt kicker and then replaced.
Well, I
him
put him
with
on
a tight end.
IR. He's on reserve.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he's just chilling there until he gets uninjured, and then I can drop probably one of the other tight ends that haven't been doing so good, and then I'll be good.
I'm number 1, brother.
Right?
That's probably
Yeah.
true.
I think that is true. Yep. Levi. Well, me and Levi are tied, but
Tied,
he
yeah.
has more total points, so he is now ahead of me. He got that because he beat me, right?
Because
Eh.
I got that.
So he beat me last round and knocked me down to the same ranking as him, point wise, like not point wise, but ratio wise.
Doesn't say total points wise. Aren't I winning?
And then I think I'm probably losing total points. Oh, I'm not. Oh wow. But anyway,
All I
see it.
know is I started from the bottom and we're on the rise. Not here yet, but
It's going to take him a second. About 3 weeks.
I am
At least, probably about at least
2
4
wins
weeks.
away from the same as Dad.
Assuming Dad wins
That's-
another game and Ethan magically wins every game.
I know, but
he'll be
you're
there in
at
5
least
minutes.
4 or
you
5
just
weeks from
watch.
first place.
It doesn't matter though because it's a 4-person league, which is kind of lame, but whatever.
Hey,
So
we're having
the
fun.
Playoffs are all.
We're having fun.
Everyone's gonna make the playoffs though. Like it don't matter. You could be the 4th
Oh, well, I don't
person
care.
and
Yeah,
have a
it's
lucky
because it was
week
our
in the
first
playoffs.
year we started it. We're
It's
going to
just-
get a couple extra.
It's about
next
having
year.
fun, Levi. Maybe people will be back.
We're gonna get
We
more
lost
next year.
Owen. Maybe he'll be.
No.
we could probably still do
No.
him. though.
Owen could have done this.
Well, yeah, but that's besides the point. We just started it. We're farting. Now we know what we can ask.
Now I know
for
how to
and
win.
it goes.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it was an understanding.
And we need
for
a new
those that didn't understand.
And we need a new commissioner.
I'm the greatest commissioner ever to grasp.
Couldn't even do a live draft. Couldn't even figure that out.
Yeah, that's
Dude, that was the app's fault, not my fault.
it. Probably was.
debatable.
But anyway, that's beside the point.
The app was crap at the start. Bro, what?
What was that noise?
It was a notification.
Can-
So
hey,
Train horn?
no.
What
Yeah,
was it?
Dad's defense had 16, so he made it close, but I still won. Yeah.
Can someone
Yeah.
tell me who won the most recent games?
Chiefs and Packers.
Oh, shoot.
So everyone got
Oh, wait. We all got that right. Never mind then. That hasn't changed anything. Ethan's 12, Levi's 10, and I'm 9.
So yeah, then next week we go to me, who plays Ben.
Hey, I have the wrong things. Hold on. Did I put the Broncos and the Bills? I didn't.
Yeah, next week in fantasy I play Ben.
Yep. Ooh, that actually is probably good for me. Yes. I'm projected 10 more over you, I saw.
Hey, when does this come out? Does this come out in 2 weeks? Or next week?
We should start putting it on the dock. Honestly, it would come out. I will tell you the day. You guys are listening to this on the 6th of November.
Ooh.
After-
Oh, hey, look, never mind. You have something about that. Never mind.
Yeah, don't even worry about me.
I was going to mention that, and then
Yeah, no, I'm already on it. Levi, you just simmer down. You gotta trust the bin. But anyway, so we need to make our predictions.
That was a good thought for me.
Yes, now our
We should make
predictions
our
for,
predictions for
in
that,
real
too.
life. But let's catch up first. Let's catch up first on our records.
Let's call in everyone we've ever had on here. Who do you think?
Hold on, I have a good idea. Hold on.
We're making an edit.
Yeah, we'll edit the document. All right. So what? I just told you we all won. So the standings the same. Ethan's at 12, Levi's at 10, and I'm at 9. So we just
so-
all up plus 2'd.
So we had
Then
Chiefs
last
and
week.
Packers.
Hannah's
We all
still
had
only
Chiefs
at
and
2.
Packers. Janice only at 2.
Very nice.
Hasn't gotten the vote.
Now
since
we
then.
have Chiefs versus Broncos.
Oh, did
no,
I
one of those
put
is
Chiefs
wrong.
at Bills? That's funny. Packers having a way. It looks like. So I need to delete one of those. I think it's that one. Oh freak! I just did the whoops. I think I need to get rid of that one. Is that correct,
Can I
Ethan?
see who
I
I
think
put
so.
on that? Okay.
Last week,
We
yeah.
play the Bills November 12th, I believe. or
You
something
can't
like
change
that.
it, but the Packers just lost their quarterback for that game.
Oh frick!
I don't think we were going to win to begin with, but that's actually.
I'm screwed. So Chiefs Sunday the 10th,
Actually, that might
12
be- that's in 2
p.m.
weeks,
against
isn't
the Broncos. Last time they played the Broncos, they lost. Fun fact.
The
They did?
Chiefs?
That's
what
got
I
to be a
have.
lie.
No, that's a lie.
What?
Yeah, that's a lie.
Says.
No, that's
Was
a
it?
lie.
Did they play him in the preseason by chance?
Maybe, but
I don't know how you
No,
got
we
that,
did
but I'm
not.
pretty sure the Chiefs.
last time we played the
successfully
Raiders for this
owned
week,
them.
we lost. But
Broncos looking good. Bo Nix.
Here, this is
looking
what
good.
it, this is what
They're
it's
doing
this is
alright.
what it's citing. I think
When was that?
I just saw the date. It doesn't pay attention. I think it was in October of last year.
I'll fact check that. Continue.
Check that. You give
no,
me the-
because
you
we
give me the
played them
date.
like week 18 last year. So
Would that have been about October?
no.
I'll
October
fact check it.
29th,
Keep
about
the
this
old-
time.
Keep the old podcast. Right?
Maybe
And
they're
the
counting.
Packers play the Bills. is
Maybe
that
they're
correct?
counting because the Broncos are home. Oh, but the Broncos aren't home.
Packers don't play the Bills this year.
I had that wrong. There's only one game.
Oh,
Yeah.
Packers bye week.
Bye week.
Yeah,
13.
I had Chiefs and Bills as the second option, but yeah, there's a bye week.
Okay, so Packers can't win or lose. We've done this with the Chiefs already. It's just Chiefs versus Broncos. Who do you think's winning?
I don't like going first because I like hearing what you guys say.
Too bad.
Well,
Okay, I'll go Chiefs.
it's the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Probably, actually.
Oh, great! Now no one's gonna get a point.
Well, you're gonna lose a point next week, so.
I'm going for the
Hopefully
Broncos.
not.
I'm going for the Broncos then.
I was talking about the Packers
Whoa,
beating the
bro's just
Lions.
trying to dig his hole of losses.
I mean, it's
I
like
could see it.
gambling. I'm
The
like,
Chiefs
roll the
have
dice.
only won one game, not by one score, and the Broncos have been playing half decent.
Thank you. I'm glad you like
It
my
could be a
choice.
game. It also could be a game because
It's probably
Pacheco's
gonna
probably
be
gonna be
a game, but it's not. It's gonna be a Chiefs win. So there's our predictions and our sports update. Now we have in the news is what it says.
Yeah, it kind of. I was thinking, I was like, man, the election's coming up, and we should talk about the election on the podcast. And so, while I was thinking that, I was watching Trump on Joe Rogan which I thought was interesting. I assume neither of you have watched that.
Ain't no one.
I
got time
watched
for
a
that.
little bit of it, but
It's
I've seen
3
Trump's been
hours
doing
long.
all
He's seen
stuff like
clips
that.
on Instagram.
Like he was, no, Dad was playing it up there, and I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, it
He was at
wasn't bad.
McDonald's giving out
That's funny.
drive-through
Yeah, it
for a
was
little bit.
funny.
He was on, I think, Theo Vaughn's podcast.
He was. I watched that as well.
Yeah,
I went
he's
on.
done
I went on
some
a
stuff.
rabbit hole, guys, of podcasts with Trump on it. But anyway, so I was like, oh, we should talk about the election, and then I went, oh shoot, this comes out after the election. So hopefully, all you guys did vote. I was really excited to do a hey go vote thing. Totally missed that. So if you didn't vote, shame on you, unless you're under 18. And if you did vote, thanks, man. Anyway, but I thought it was cool to see. I think it's so cool to see Trump be more personable. I don't know. I've never seen him just chill. He's always at a rally or yelling
It's helped out his
or arguing.
numbers a lot better.
I think that's so true. But then, so recently he's done. Well, the Theo Vaughn one was a while ago,
Yeah,
but it was after he got shot. I remember that part.
yeah.
And then this Joe Rogan one was like literally like, well, since when this comes out, like 2 to 3 weeks ago from when this comes out. So it was very recent. And it was about 2 weeks before the election, maybe. Anyway, it's I thought it was so cool. It's kind of boring at the start, and then it gets okay in the middle, and then it's pretty good at the end. I think that's my take on that. I also really like Theo Vaughn. I love the clip. I think it was when he was talking with Trump. When he was talking about the economy, it's a pretty famous clip of Theo Vaughn, and Trump's like, "We had the best economy, something, something, something," and Theo Vaughn goes, "Yeah, my buddy bought a boat."
Yeah, Theo Vaughn may or may not be a character or actually that slow. I'm not sure, but I would love to meet the guy in person just to
He's not.
genuinely.
He doesn't seem slow.
to him.
I really like him. He's so open to everything. He's like not opinionated on anything, which I think made him a great host because it's
Yeah,
crazy.
no, he doesn't
he did
care.
Bernie Sanders the week before and then Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So he's spanning a couple spectrums there, but he was super chill on both of them. I listened to the
Yep.
Sanders one and the Trump one.
He's a pretty good comedian.
The thing was, he wasn't really
he's
funny.
not very family friendly, so don't
Yeah, he's
wouldn't
not the
recommend that if
most
you're
family
not.
friendly. He wasn't
Highly
very funny.
recommend.
He wasn't really funny with Trump, but can you imagine trying to interview or talk to the president or the former president and current
At this
elect?
time, though, he may or may not.
He
be
may or may
president.
not be the president.
I think
or
he's gonna be the president by far.
Hot take.
No, I think that's with all the
He's
recent
polling
stuff
really
that's
good.
Been gone. Yeah, it's like 66.
That was
33.
something else they talked about on the Joe Rogan. They're like, who gets contacted for these polls? Trump's leading in the polls. Who are they calling? Who's polling? Who's stopping and polling these?
Yeah.
If you listen to this podcast and if you've ever been called and answered a pollster, leave a comment. I want to know because I almost believe it doesn't exist. They're making these numbers out of their butt. But Trump said, I don't know about these pollsters, but I like them now because I'm winning.
Yeah, most
That's
of the
like
predictions are like 66 and 36 for Trump
I was
versus.
looking at a lot of the
Kamala.
swing states, and like the last 2 years, the difference has been like 0.5% of the vote.
Well,
in all
yeah,
the
that's why
swing
they're
states.
swing states.
That's
It's tight, bruh.
that's close.
Yeah,
But
it's funny.
in most of those states now, he's projected winning, and so it's like
We're looking at different
7,
news states 'cause mine
8
all had 'em projected losing.
blue states now.
Well, they're
It's
going to
not a
be
lot.
the swing states.
Depends
Are
I
gonna be a big
just
part.
saw it on Twitter.
I learned that you
Ooh,
can
Twitter,
bet
believe that.
money on that, and
That's
I
like
kind of
USA
want
Today.
to bet money on the election.
I'm
See?
putting 10 grand on Trump
Yeah.
winning North
Wouldn't
Carolina.
that be-
Or is it
See?
I don't even know.
Wouldn't that be crazy? That's the current polls.
It's a.
I think that's the betting app I saw.
Yeah,
Polymark.
66-34. There's not very many blue.
Dang,
So even if that's
We'll see.
remotely close, I
Yeah,
mean,
we'll see. Who knows?
that'd be crazy if it was 66%.
yeah, I don't
That'd
think
be
it'll
like the
end up
biggest-
being
I think
like
it's gonna
that.
be close. I think it's gonna be
but-
close.
No, I don't think it's gonna be like
You don't
nail
think-
biter close. I think it's gonna be we can tell within the night.
Really,
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm excited to be in
Just to
school
see.
as that's happening.
Really.
Because we'll be at school. While
Oh
that
yeah.
starts
Well,
up.
you'll be. Yeah.
It
Well,
won't
actually,
be
you'll
finished.
probably.
no.
It's a Tuesday.
yes.
Not when the crazy's
Yeah,
happening.
not at the end when it's like, oh, who's gonna win? But,
but
like,
yeah,
when
you
it
might
gets
catch a few
announced.
states call it.
yeah,
A few states might call it while you're at the end of school.
Florida, Texas.
You can watch the results live, kind of.
Yeah.
just to see.
But yeah, it's really fun at night. You're sitting there around on the couch just watching the TV as they're just calling.
It is
Alabama.
As
the
I'm
news
working.
channel's Super Bowl for sure.
It really
Any-
is.
any news
It really
channel,
is. It's like the Olympics for the political channels.
Yeah, any
Every 4
news
years they
channel.
get a.
What I find is crazy is we haven't like talked about it in our history class. I know it's not like a government
Well,
class, but still,
You realize it's like, almost,
it's a week away.
It's a week away now. Yeah,
pretty much. It's
they'll
a
probably
week
start
away.
talking about it. I remember. What did we do? I was in high school when
Would
the
you have
first
been
Trump
in a
election.
government class?
I wasn't. I think I was in a government class.
Yeah. See that's perfect opportunity to do that.
Oh no! Yeah, we talked about it, and we
Yeah.
we watched the debate.
You would have, because 2020.
We watched the debate in a government class or in one of the classes.
I think
we
in
just,
any
You
history
would have been in
class
my
he was
class, 'cause
watching
you were
him.
4 years ahead of
Yeah,
me.
I was a junior, but it was the teacher. I think we were just watching him because he was kind of curious and didn't really care for the much of the assignment.
you know, I loved watching the debate with my class because that was pretty wild at times.
Yeah.
People yelling out stuff, but that's exciting. So we're gonna predict the election, just like we predict our sports teams.
It's Trump.
Ethan's going Trump. Levi.
I feel like I can't say certain things. I'm gonna get
That's why we're just predicting.
Just predict.
Trump because
I'm-
he got shot at twice.
Yeah.
That's why
I think that
that pushed him over the edge. That's
it helped
definitely the reason. I'm also gonna go Trump. That's my choice. I think that's who is going to win.
Is it
the
partially
election.
wishful thinking? Maybe, but
See,
I've
that's
also.
what I didn't know if I could say right there. I don't know if you could say that.
Well, no. See, I can say that, but I'm not.
We're nonpartisan.
We're not gonna get canceled.
Like
Yeah,
I
I'm
genuinely
independent.
feel. I genuinely feel like Trump has pushed forward in sight of recent events between both candidates. I feel like Trump has proven to be better and more liked by majority of people.
I can maybe see that. I think part of that's because of the current administration.
Oh yeah.
I thought Levi just took a call. Just because Kamala is part of the current administration that
Logan, who's
you know is like lower is not being very favored right now. I don't think that's negative, and I really think these interviews that Trump's done probably has helped him. Or he's the one who's willing to just sit down and just chat about whatever. Whereas where the heck's Kamala? I don't know.
She's been doing it. She has been doing it for stuff, but
I
they've
heard
been rough.
I heard an interesting thing that they were like, so what did Trump do to win last time? Trump did all these rallies, so Kamala's doing all these rallies. And I was like, that kind of makes sense, I guess, that Kamala would try to do the rally sense to try to be out there more when my page just reloaded. It's listening.
Wait,
For her to
guys,
do
I
the
have
rallies
Logan's answer.
because are we just Logan predicting this?
My boy Trump.
That's what he said. Okay, that's Logan's prediction on that.
Now he's probably not going off of any logistics or anything.
Yeah, he's
like
probably
that.
like,
He just
Yeah,
Trump!
Yeah. All right, we're all red here.
So
In our
I got a
prediction
funny
area.
thought.
If we're wrong, you guys are
Because-
gonna know. We'll all learn together.
It was just brought up when I was somewhere else, and it was something that I had never thought about before. But if the first
we should
women,
post this before the election.
excuse me, woman president, like if Kamala did win, who's gonna do all the first lady duties?
It'd be the
But
first
the first man.
Oh my god!
Literally, the first man.
Is the man gonna
Oh,
decorate
no, he
the
would-
White House on Christmas with all the trees and?
This is a crazy.
This is a very
Isn't
good
it?
question.
I know.
The first
that would be
man.
interesting though. Who would do it?
And like, aren't they supposed to like
Well,
They're
Trump
usually
isn't
more
make
married.
a table for Thanksgiving or
Trump
something?
They're
isn't
like
usually
that?
more
So
humanitarian,
There wouldn't be
too.
a first woman there either.
What?
Trump's not married.
That's embarrassing.
No, shoot. I'm thinking of Brady.
Tom Brady.
I'm thinking of Brady, not Trump.
The two goats.
They do both happen to have supermodel wives. Tom Brady just happens to not have a supermodel wife anymore.
anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
That's
not Trump.
that's.
Has
funny.
there ever been a non-married president?
No, there's always been first
No,
lady.
yeah,
to
I
do
think
first
I
lady
think they've
duties.
mostly always had wives. Now some of them have died, but not in office. And the
Ben's
ones
gonna break the
afterwards.
trend.
Whoa.
Sorry,
Oh,
Ben.
whoa. That's
Throwing some shade over there.
But I think
Yeah, I'm gonna be
we now have we have a vice president that's a woman currently, and so they call her husband the second gentleman. So actually, I think it'd be called the first gentleman.
Second
And it would be the first gentleman, but I don't think
lady and gentleman. That makes sense.
our government's ready for that. But that's as far as I'll say that. It was just fun thoughts to think
cancel.
about.
We
Let's
love women.
Going into a short.
I'm Yeah, no.
And you're
Ethan's
short
dating a woman.
That's yes. Fun fact.
He also classifies as a woman, so it's kind of
No, I'm not going there. Yeah, that's our election
yeah,
predictions. It'll be already settled by the time this comes out. We
or
will
maybe
know.
not.
Yeah, or scandalous. You never know.
Or maybe not.
You
How
know,
long
Who
did
might
the
get
last one
shot.
take?
I mean, you never know.
I don't
How
know.
long- I feel like the
There
last
could
one
be
took a
lot
day
of
or
things
two.
that could go wrong here, as we've seen.
Yeah, the one previous was really close.
Didn't last year's take a little extra long because there was all
That's what I was
sorts
trying
of
to think.
voting
I
issues?
feel like they might have called it by that. They might have been able to call it late that night. Because polls close at 7, and they might have called it early the next morning.
Yeah, it went to the next day.
And wasn't there like 30 million unregistered
It was close,
votes or
but then
something
there was
like
one that was
Who
like,
the
oh,
heck
he started
knows?
to pull away.
that? I feel like there was a lot of unregistered
Anyway,
votes. Hopefully they
so-
get that figured out too.
How fun. You guys can see if we were right. Well, we'll also see if we're right. When this comes out the day after the polls close.
This isn't like the Trump and Joe where it was like, oh, we don't know who's going to win. I feel pretty confident Trump's going to win.
Wow, Ethan's
That's going to
confident.
be embarrassing if he doesn't, though.
Yeah, but again.
You're going to have to take this video down.
So, moving in.
I wonder if we'll get one of those fact check. I don't think we're big enough to get one of the fact check things.
But if Trump
But I
wants
hope
to
we
be on
do.
our
Oh, I see what you're
podcast,
saying.
That'd be sweet. if we got
Tomorrow.
it.
Trump, Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan.
like the day after, we'll talk to
We'll talk to Kamala. We have a seat.
Yeah.
Yep,
right
Kamala seat.
We're in the
She's welcome.
basement too. It's pretty secure.
Yep.
We'll take the
We'll lock
views.
this down. You have the secret
Tornado,
service
you'd be
upstairs.
safe. Just saying. Your
Obama?
people call my people.
I have a
Anyway.
lot of questions for Obama if he wants to take a
Yeah,
seat. Like, what did you do to my school lunches,
yeah.
dude?
Which really is probably his wife.
Yeah,
So bring your wife
yeah.
too.
Yes.
First lady there.
Duel right there.
Well, let's not get into that one. We're going to move to our next topic. And he's got it up there as life update. It's really just a life story.
Sure. Same
so-
diff, I guess.
No, it's not.
It's not the same.
Update's kind of like technical. This is just kind of a story. They probably don't care about it either, but the story's just funny. So the past, well, for you guys, this would have been 4.5 weeks ago. From right now, it's 2.5 weeks ago, a little over. I had gotten my wisdom teeth surgery and pulled. And I say surgery and pulled because my top two were growing down, but they were making contact with the rest of my teeth. So they pulled those out. But my bottom two were growing horizontally into
Here's your
my
crooked teeth,
bottom teeth.
molars.
So they obviously had to get out, but they had to be surgically removed because you obviously can't pull that. A tooth doesn't naturally grow that way.
Because you're weak.
Well, the-
I could have pulled that for you.
So yeah, no, definitely not. When I
So,
get there,
Did you have some wisdom teeth protruding from the top, like they could see it,
yeah, I could kind of feel the top ones.
but it was still under your gums, or it was
Just
there?
a little bit. This one, they had to.
Top left. For
Well,
listeners.
let me just start the story here. So, dentist appointment. They get the scan. They figured out. They say, "Yeah, we'll try and pull them all." So, okay,
Try and pull them.
good enough. Get them all out at once. And I did not want to go through it twice. Thank the Lord, I did not have to.
Hallelujah.
So then we do the scan. Like I say, we see teeth growing and teeth growing sideways. No bueno. All of them come out. We get there. I do all my paperwork before, pretty much. And then I get there, and we wait a little bit. Then we go in. I do some more paperwork and payment. And then
How much did it cost?
to go back
wait, I
to...
just- do you have the-
Let me tell my story.
Okay, sorry.
So then think about what I'm saying in the moment. If you have questions about what I've said, then ask that
You
question.
said pay the bill.
Yeah, I went and paid the bill.
Were you thirsty?
It was.
I want to know not deductible.
Ooh, yeah, I should go back further. 8 hours
Oh
before
my
surgery,
God.
Thank you. Yes,
we
this is
could not. I could not drink or eat anything. So that night at 12 o'clock, which luckily I was still asleep by then, so it didn't really matter. But when I woke up, no breakfast, no coffee, no liquid, nothing.
Literally couldn't drink water. He was thirsty.
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily.
Dehydrate.
Again, I kind of prepared for that the night before. But anyway, so we drive there. I get there. I pay. I think we paid. It was like almost.
Without the deductible. I'm curious what the full bill is.
Oh, full bill
Yeah. What?
was like.
What if you didn't have insurance? How much that
It
cost you?
was like $3,500.
Oh, under $4,000
Yeah, it was closer to full.
for a surgery.
It's just
for 4 teeth. That took him 30 minutes.
4 hours.
Oh, it took him 30 minutes,
That's
okay.
even shorter.
Yeah, so
That's
we
fair,
get
I
there, I
guess.
pay, we get in there, we wait a little bit, then I go in, nurse comes in, does my whole pressure, all that stuff they have to do for the blood stuff, and then she's like, well, we'll be in with the doctor in a minute. So then, just before doctor came in, she's like, you got to watch this video, though. So she tells me everything I can't do, can or can't, kind of, and then says, watch this video, here's just going to explain what happens. So I do that, we do that with precautionary, and then...
So you like this is before this is like prepping you for the
yes,
surgery.
this is prepping
You're
for
like
the surgery
learning
and the after.
I'd almost not want to know what they're gonna do.
No,
Like,
you
show
gotta
me
know
what
they're
happened
gonna
after.
do.
I'm scared.
Well, you got to know what they're gonna do, so then you know what you can't do.
What if I don't want to know?
And
Like,
so
what if it's like
just a general?
we're gonna
video.
drill into your bones? I'm like, don't
No,
tell me
it's
that.
just like a explaining. It's like a. So when you wake up, you're gonna be a little nauseous. We're gonna hold you a little bit. You're gonna be loopy. You can't really walk, so we're gonna sit you down and wait until we can get you.
So
up
they're
and into
more
the
like
vehicle.
telling you the stuff that you're not gonna remember.
Uh,
This is what we're gonna do that you're not gonna remember.
they don't tell you really about the surgery. They tell you why and then how your life's gonna have to be for a little bit after. Basically, is what the video's about. So
Kind of like what I said.
then the video's watched, and she said, okay, we'll get the doctor comes in, and he kind of goes through this all again, explaining how we're going to have to do it. And then he pulls up the pictures, the x-ray of my mouth to talk to me about what he's going to do.
Oh, here we go.
And this was the part that was kind of like crazy. So he pulls it up, and he circles, okay, so these ones, we look like we can pull. So I think we're just going to try and maybe slice and then pull. No harm, no foul. It's the bottom ones that we're going to have to get serious because the roots of the teeth still happen. They just so happen to be growing sideways as well. And so that comes down into your jaw, of which then is close to nerves that run down here for a little bit. And so when the tooth is growing this way, the nerve, they come from the side, and he said,
of your mouth.
sometimes it's
Through
a
your-
problem with those roots if they get long enough or big enough, or depending on where the nerve is, it kind of varies, that it could be a problem, and we may not be able to, but he was not concerned about it for mine. That looked plenty far away in the x-ray. Kind of hard to tell because, again, it's a 2D image, or a 3D image on a 2D piece of paper, and so anyways, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, that's fine. I didn't think anything about that. But
Ethan's a yes.
so
man.
then, yeah, I just wanted to get in and get out. And he gets to going about the IV I have to have for the anesthesia.
Oh yeah.
And so I asked, he didn't tell me, I was like, so am I going to get the anesthesia like in a gas mask, just breathe it in, or am I going to have to get shot? He's like, no, it's going to be a shot. And I was like, dang it. And
Yeah,
that
dang
was
it.
the
Give me the gas.
thing that made me the most nervous
Oh my gosh.
because I was going to be feeling that.
You're going in. They're like manipulating the heck out of your mouth and cutting into your gums, and you're like, dang.
Well, yeah, because
I'm gonna
I
get
just
a
know
shot?
my mindset is that has to happen. And so going in, the thing that made me the most nervous was if I was going to have to get that shot for it, because I can feel that. Versus if I just breathe it in, I conk out, whatever, it's great. I don't feel anything until I come back awake, and that was a whole different animal, but we'll get there. So then, yes, I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks, but okay. And then, jokingly, I was like, he was going through the rules, what not to do. Can't have solid, can't have all this kind of stuff. And I said, and no straws, right? And he goes, no, I think I'm okay if you have a straw. I don't believe in that. And I was like, what?
I don't believe in that's false
Yeah.
news.
And so I was like, well, that's interesting.
So he said, I'm gonna get a milkshake.
Yeah. So then after that, I said, well, I want strawberry banana milkshake from McDonald's once we're done then, because I knew I was just going to be hungry. But
Well, yeah, you haven't eaten.
that
anything.
didn't work out later. So then after that,
And Doc said, yeah. Doc said you're clear for a milkshake.
yeah, he said so. But we get in there, and I get moved to the place where the operation is going to happen, and he told me in that it was probably only going to take him about 30 minutes, and I was like, wow, that's kind of quick, because 2 of them were literally going sideways. And so I get in there. The nurse has a blanket. She's like, I don't know if you're going to get cold or not, but here's a blanket, because when you're under, you probably will. And something along those lines. I was like, okay, whatever, sounds good. So I just set my arms down, and she just throws it over me, and I'm sitting there, and then she gets this thing that goes on my nose and just sits on my nose, and that was nitrogen to force my body to calm down, calm the nerves down. So
That
I
seems like
wasn't-
anesthesia.
So when the anesthesia kicked in, I wasn't shaking. and it helped me go to sleep as well too. Because after she did that, then Doc came in. They started putting all the stuff on, and this is when I really started. Like at first, I went in there, I was fine, I wasn't shaking, I wasn't anything. But then once the blanket came on and the thing was on my nose, and then the doctor came in because I knew he was the one that was going to do the shot, the IV of anesthesia or whatever.
Start shaking?
It's called. Yeah, I started getting the cold sweats, and I was shaking, and I was like legitimately shaking like I had
like a baby.
a disease. Yeah, and so then I had to get my arms out and stuff, and he did the whole had me squeeze my arm so he could find this vein, and so I squeezed it a couple times, and then that's when he said, you need to take a deep breath, you need to calm down, or something like that. You're shaking a little bit there. Are you nervous? And I was like, no, not really, until I knew I had to get this IV. And then that's when I remember he said, yeah, I'm just going to need you to squeeze your arm a couple times. And I was like, oh, crap. So that's when
Are you not looking at it? I wouldn't.
No, yeah, no. At this point, I'm sitting back.
Yeah,
I'm sitting back in my chair. I'm just like, I can't look at it. And I wanted to look at it so bad just because I'm that curious. But I was like, I can't look at it. Otherwise, I'm going to like freak and throw
hit
my
him.
arm. Yeah. And so then he told me to calm down.
Left hook.
So I took a deep breath, and then I squeezed, and then he just did it right in between there. It was right when he told me to calm down. He just right there, and I was like, oh, that hurt. I didn't say anything, but it was.
Because you're a man.
It felt like the needle was about the size of a pin. It probably wasn't.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, but it wasn't a small needle either. And so then once that was over, I was like, oh, we made it. But then it kind of felt like he missed because I felt to move it a little bit. And so I think he poked through the skin, and then he poked into the vein, and that's what kind of hurt.
Make sure I get that in there.
Yeah, and so I think it felt like 2 pokes. So I think it was the skin and the vein. But anyway.
What makes me angry? I hate shots.
Yeah, that was the worst part of leading up to the surgery. Because you just can't think about anything else because it's got to get done. I mean, they got to come out. They can't grow this way. There's no going around it. So then after that, he's talking to me. So, what are you doing? Are you working? Are you going to school? I said, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I was working a little. And then he asked me, the last question I remember he asked me, he said, oh, yeah, where are you going to school? And then at that point, I just closed my eyes because the IV was still in me. It hadn't, because it's an IV, it's sitting there draining in me. I just closed my eyes because otherwise I was going to look at it. And I told him where, and then that's all I remember until I woke up. So, surgery goes through. I don't know how long it's been,
He's loopy.
I wake up, and the only thing after that I remember is when I wake up, there's patches in between there where I can remember them moving me within the office. I think it was within the back, though.
It was like a movie. He had like flashes of just that small area.
I do.
Oh, time to do chores.
And so then
already did that.
I remember being walked a little bit to a seat and sat down. I asked what time it was, and then I conked out for a little bit. And then I woke back up, and I was like, hey. And nobody responded. And I was like, hey, what time is it? And then no one responded. And so I was kind of looked around, and there was a door frame right beside me where I think I saw the doctor go into, so I knew someone was in there. And so I reach over and lean over to it, and I knock on it, and I'm like, hey. And I knock on it. What time is it? And then someone finally told me, like around 9:30 or blah, blah, whatever. And so then I was like, okay. And then I remember I conked out.
Were you not able to bring your watch in with you?
Why would you?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
I
wasn't thinking about raising my arm to look at my watch either.
I know that's
I don't know why I was curious.
Funny is
about
because
that.
the first thing I think of, what time is it? My first instinct would be this, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if you did or did. You're just like, I'm just gonna yell out it.
Yeah, and because I just kind of remember that, and then I went back to sleep. I think I didn't actually. I was actually awake till it's just my memory was going kind of in and out.
That's funny
because they said I was a talker. After I came out, I immediately started talking, and so I remember 2 of the times I was talking. So I went back, and then I came back up, and I was like, "Hey," because I wanted to know where my driver was, and I was like, "Hey, where's da da da?" And I said, hey. And I remember getting louder.
You're like angry.
Hey. And knocking again on the same thing, reaching over. Where is blah, blah, blah. I won't say her name because reasons, but you guys know who it was. And they were like,
I do.
They're outside. They're waiting for you. We just got to give you a little bit longer. And I didn't remember that part, but I just remember them saying that they were still here. And I was like, okay. So then I kind of conked back out.
I still get home.
Yeah, and then I don't remember anything until I got into the truck after we had been driving for 15
Oh, wow.
miles. Yeah, so after I have a couple memories, and it was like a dream, but I knew I was living it because I knew the situation I was
you knew
in.
you were going to be
But
in there. Yeah,
the
yeah,
only
yeah.
reason I remember it is because it was like a dream, but I was actually living it. So I was awake for it. I just, the chemicals that are in the thing is crazy. And so apparently there was a struggle with getting me into the vehicle because I wanted to be in the back, so I didn't mess with the driver, but they insisted I was in the front so I could recline back.
They
And
being the
the
nurses.
yeah. And so there was a struggle with that. And then I wake up in the truck, and I remember some of the stories I was talking about. I remember the little bit of the McDonald's drive-through. We did get this meat. I did not drink out of the straw, though. Don't worry. I was not thinking about drinking right then. I was not hungry.
I like how that, but you still went and got it. Like
Yeah, of course.
Ethan, he was
And
not
I
ready
ate
for it, but they bought it.
Yeah, because then I had it the next day because I was going to be hungry and I was on a liquid diet.
That's
So
fair, I guess, yeah, that's
then I remember waking up a couple times in there. There's some couple things that I can remember out of that, questions I asked, that type of thing.
But you were still in and out on the drive,
Yeah.
the whole drive
No. After 20 minutes.
of driving. After 20 minutes after
Because we
you
had
awoke,
to go to
or-
another town to get my medications from the
Oh.
Walmart.
nice.
I can remember everything else. So after 20 minutes of driving, I had fully came back. There was bits and pieces within that 20 minutes that I said, like I said, I can remember. But after 20 minutes, I was pretty much at my own control for
you could think straight.
thinking and remembering.
Not speaking, just
No, because
So
I was a talker. I was still talking, but after another 5 or 10 minutes, it started to hurt. It was wearing off. I was like, I gotta stop.
talking was
I gotta
hurting.
stop. I gotta stop moving because this hurts already. And I had no medicine yet, and so we went to get that. And
when
it was
you went-
in that,
when you
I
went-
called, Dad, because we went to where he works, the same town, and I said, hey, do you want to
Okay, I didn't know.
see us? We're waiting on the medicine, blah blah blah. And so I remember going there and talking to him a little bit about it, and then going back and getting the medicine and going home. So
Did you go in to get the medicine, or
no, I did not.
you just stayed in the car?
No, yeah, I just stayed in the car.
like a panting dog.
Driver just left you there like a child.
Yeah,
Stay in the
we
car
left
now.
it running the long time, but the other time she was quick. I had her grab a couple things so I could eat
More fluids.
and yeah, more gauze for my mouth because I had already went through what the office had gave us.
Ethan was going through
Because I
so
had
much
4
gauze.
freaking holes in my mouth. Yeah, it was bad. The first
Spitting blood.
afternoon, the first day afternoon that I was going through, I was changing the gauze pads every like 10, 15 minutes. They recommend you do it every 20, 30. But like they said, I was a talker, and that led to more bleeding. And it was all 4, so it was
I feel
double.
like I remember you. I was here when you realized that the talking was more bleeding. I don't remember if that's true though.
Yeah.
But
Because I didn't know that. They obviously didn't tell me
Yeah,
that. I
they're
wasn't
like-
awake.
so-
They told the driver, they were like, hey, he's the talker. He's probably going to be bleeding a lot.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, and then the driver's recounting this one. I'm here checking in on him, and they're like, "Yeah, they said that talking would be worse." And then Ethan's like, "Talking makes it." Well, no wonder I'm going through so much gauze.
Yeah, I was swapping them out 10 minutes earlier than they recommended. Now, I probably wasn't putting as much in my mouth as they originally had, but yeah, I was swapping it more frequent than normal, and that was nasty. But anyways, it's all part of the fun. And then
That's a good way to think
about-
about the fun.
2-3 days later is when the excitement of it all wears off, and you're like, man, this sucks. I can't have solid foods.
How
Because
long
at
could you-
first it's like,
how long
oh
could you
yeah,
not?
I get to eat yogurt. I get to have Jello. All these things that aren't normally
Pudding.
made. Yeah. But then after 3 days, 3-4 days, that's really when you don't realize how much solid foods you appreciate eating, and yeah.
How long were you on a liquid diet? Was it 5 days?
No,
Like
so
a-
it
like a week or
was.
so? Because you said at least.
They
4
said
days.
after 3 to 5 days you could start working it in.
Oh, but you
Soft foods, not
Oh.
not solids.
Ethan was not
softer
eating an
foods.
apple after 5 days.
Right, but it was like noodles or
Yeah, like
I think I had
cooked
some
stuff.
pears and Jello, and so yeah, really soft stuff. But nothing could be hot until after like a
That-
week and a half.
That was also funny because he'd make soup and then you'd have to wait
Yes,
for the
and
soup
it was
to cool.
lukewarm soup.
Uh,
They said no hot, and so then I want to say it was.
That's probably. This sounds like this would be the worst part, honestly. The food.
Yeah, no, it definitely was.
Because like I bet the pain goes away after a couple days.
no, yeah, with the pain medication,
with the pain
you
med,
can
yeah.
handle it.
But then you're like, okay, I'm
You
gonna go
don't feel
eat.
it.
Oh, it's my 9th serving of Jello.
Yeah, exactly. That was the worst part because then you have to do that for another week. So they say liquids for a week, basically, and nothing hot until 2 weeks later, which is.
So
as
you
of
had to
now.
change your diet for at least 2 weeks after the surgery.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That was by far the worst part. That's why I was so glad we did it all one. Don't do it in 2 settings because then you got to go through
Then you're
all that
a
again.
month. You're like a whole month worth if you were to do that.
Yeah, and
2
even now
settings.
I'm still kind of having to be careful. The swelling had worn down, but there's still 2 holes that are in my teeth. So I had chips for the first time yesterday, and it's been 2.5 weeks.
Congrats.
Yeah.
What were the Doritos?
Do you have stitches you can still feel?
No, that was kind of wild too because they were dissolving stitches, but it was like they said, "Oh, it'll be in there for like a week and a half," and then it was like the night of the week and a half mark.
It started going away.
The night I felt him, woke up in the morning, they were gone.
Oh.
So they got that down to the.
I wondered if you would
Yeah.
like feel like you would. Oh, that's the dissolving stitch or something.
No,
like
it
that.
just literally like a tablet you drop in water, they just dissolve away.
That's
it didn't
crazy.
break apart or anything. It just was gone.
That's crazy.
That's the way to do it, right there.
Yeah, it was crazy. I
Wonder
was
if
like,
they used to
I
do
thought,
those
because I thought the same thing. Oh, it's gonna kind of piece of. No, it just vanished.
So, do you think if you sneezed or did something extreme, you could open it back up?
Oh yeah, if I would.
I'm sure if you
sick
ate
while all that happened.
A chip or something would screw it, but I bet if you like ate a chip really aggressively right now and still sliced into it.
No, the holes are really, really tiny now. This one is pretty much gone.
You don't
and
think
this
you could
one's really
accidentally
small.
open a wound then?
No, I don't think because it's now just like normal mouth around it. So yeah, I could slice it just like you slice your mouth sometimes when you chew on a chip wrong, but it would heal over and
Okay.
just like normal. But if I would have had a cough, like
Oh gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh. Could you
after 5
imagine?
days of that, because
Oh
all
my
the swelling
goodness.
and pressure is here, and that's honestly what hurt the most was my jaw because of how they would have had to open and stretch that to get around to the side. Because like I said, the holes are on the outside, not the inside of my mouth.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine if you were sick during that. First off, you'd be miserable because you'd be sick, runny nose, all that stuff. Then yeah, you sneeze or cough, and then goes all the gauze blood and
Yeah, that would
rips
be
a stitch.
terrible.
Oh my gosh.
And then also
miserable.
the
You
nerve thing. Back to that. After I came out of surgery, he had mentioned to me that he wasn't worried about the nerve. But then it told the driver, he was like, "Hey,
the nerve is fine. The nerve.
the
Hey, by the way,
nerve
If the nerve-
might have, he might have the side of his face with a little numbness after we got kind of close to the nerve or something like that." Well, it sounded like he wasn't sure, but I'm sure he knew what he did because he knew exactly what half of my face was going to be numb and when it was, and it was. I came back after the anesthesia wear it off is when I could feel it and I could push the side of my face, and it was like that pins and needles feeling whenever I would push it. And so that was
his
weird.
face had fallen asleep.
I knew when it was coming back, though. Luckily, it was within the same day because
That's right,
I
it
couldn't
was.
feel that area. But then all of a sudden, this area got like really hot feeling. And so any breeze or anything I did would feel really cool if I touched it. And then, but up here was still numb forever. And then it worked its way up, and I remember I could, oh, hey, I can feel this side of my face. But then I never thought about my ear. I'd never touched it until I did touch it when it came back. I'm sure I was touching it, but I just never think of, your ear having feeling or not, because that's freaking weird. And so then it started to get warm, and I messed with it, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, I just felt that. And so I remember when it came back, it was pretty obvious. But they did something with the nerve back in here, touched it, accidentally moved it, something, so my face was numb for a couple hours.
And had it not come back, you were going to have to go back in a week.
He said if it didn't come back after a day or two, call us and we'll get you back in here. But it came back that
Yeah,
day. So.
and then Mom came up and said he can feel the nerve. I was like, yes, Ethan's not going back.
Yeah, it was good. It came
Funniest
back.
part was when he was yawning the night of or the night after.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
no,
the funny
we
part-
there's
hiccups.
videos
It was
of
hiccups.
me obviously when I was on the stuff,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, no, we can't watch those now because it hurts me to smile.
yeah.
My jaw
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
swelling up here would push against the top ones that were messed with, and
Ethan said, "Don't make me laugh."
any movement other than the stretching it took to put the gauze in, and even that after, if I overdid it, would hurt a little bit. It really hurt, and so then, yeah, like he was saying, when I got the hiccups sometimes, and that was annoying because that's moving the whole face, but it was coughing, anything like I said, moving the mouth kind of sucked. So that's not because of the surgery either, I don't think. I think it's because of how much they had to stretch it to open it, move the stuff, and get
Yeah.
in there to do the
That's
procedure.
crazy because you're thinking, right? So like they cut into the side of your gum, like the outer wall of your gum,
Yeah.
through the opening of your mouth. Like,
Yeah, so they
that's a
cut
couple
that
inches
back.
they had to.
They cut that back, peel it
Oh,
open
God.
to then saw the tooth into pieces with a
And then remove.
however, and then remove them out
And they're-
with however they got to get down in there and pull them out.
and they're somehow doing that around your mouth. Like they didn't cut into you anywhere else externally, so they had to like work around your mouth.
Yeah.
Ugh, that seems hard.
And then when they stitched it back, I'm not sure if it's intentional or not, but they took part of my cheek to close over and stitch the hole.
do what?
So like this right here, this feeling where it's connected, I can feel that in my cheek where the hole is right here.
So there's
So
like
they
a,
took-
there's like a flap of your skin, the wall of your cheek missing. You can feel.
Not missing, it feels like this because it's stretched. So they grabbed some of the cheek in one of the stitched loops to close the
Oh.
hole.
You
Yeah.
can feel your cheek is connected to your gum a
Yes,
little
just
bit.
a little bit. Like I said, it's like this feeling right here where if I stretch it and then run my it does that
Yeah, you catch a little bit of
Yeah.
you catch a little
instead
bit of your
of being
cheek.
like
That's
smooth
crazy.
where it
You
should.
should
That's-
rip it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure
Ooh.
that'll probably fix itself
Yeah.
eventually.
You'll probably sneeze or yawn or something, and then it'll go and then you're free.
Yeah, with stretching it out, but
to break free. Saw a guy do that. Too.
Don't get it.
it's interesting. It's a crazy process.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I feel like I have some wisdom teeth. I probably will have to remove at some point, but I'm not doing nothing until it hurts. You said it was hurting you.
Yeah, I could feel them, and sometimes it would hurt
Oh,
poking through.
it wasn't like constant pain.
There would be weeks
Oh, yeah,
where
okay.
it would hurt for a week, but then I think I'd get used to it, and then I'm sure it'd probably move again, and it would hurt for, week, 5 days, and then go away. I'd get used to it for a month, and then it would come back, and so it was after enough of those constant times, and I wanted to look at the Invisalign. They said, well, we got to get those out first if you're gonna do that.
Oh,
So it was all just a constant buildup of
Yeah,
they just need
a
to
lot
get
of
them out
reasons.
because it hurt, and they were touching bone, and
I think I have a few that are trying to push up through my gums.
see, I thought my bottom ones were
Um,
pushing up too, but they were pushing
Well,
sideways.
mine could be crooked. I have a dentist appointment at some point here in the next month or so, so I'll find out too.
Yeah.
But I'm probably not gonna do anything until it hurts me. I've had times where, and it'll hurt for an afternoon, but I don't know if that's just like a swelling of normal soreness or if that's the teeth are just did a weird move a little bit today.
Or you
Um,
struck it with a chip. Or
No, maybe, but
I get
I've-
worried about cavities all the time because something gets sore and it'll hurt for like a day or two, and then it
I don't
goes
think
away.
that's how cavities are.
Sometimes your teeth can get a little crack, and then if you get cold water, it'll go down there and oosh, and not feel great. But that's kind of what would happen with mine because I like to chew ice all the time. I could be back there chewing, and then after a while, you naturally force food. You don't realize that either until you can't force food back there. When you want to swallow and get all the taste of a food, you try and get it down back to your molars, and then once it's back there, you swallow it, and it goes down your throat like that. So you got to focus on keeping it just on your tongue going straight back. But anyway, so after chewing ice and chewing on it for a little bit, it would get kind of sore, and there'd be times like, ooh, that didn't. It hits the nerve that's in your tooth. So that's really how I knew, and when it was bad is when I could feel it. I could feel these ones start to poke through as of pretty recently, actually. On the top, I could run my tongue over it and feel it was poking through. But then, like I said, I thought the bottom ones were growing up because I had a little feeling that it felt like it was trying to come through the gum and work its way out, but turns out it was going that way and just poking and kind of. Yeah, I don't know how that works, how I was feeling it, but
Yeah, I can't believe you had a Sudbury's tooth, but maybe that's more common than I think.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is because Dad
don't think
had
it's
his
common?
removed. Mom and
Well, I'm saying the
somebody
tooth
else had it.
sideways, like the tooth fell over and was. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't think
Mom
that's
didn't have to go to
very
sleep
common.
for hers. She just
Oh.
had hers pulled
Yeah.
awake.
What?
Yeah. Dad just had his pulled. He had to go to sleep, but he just had his pulled.
No anesthesia.
No, he had the anesthesia. Like I
Dad
said,
did,
he
Mom
had to go
didn't.
to sleep.
Mom didn't have anesthesia.
No.
How many teeth they pull? 2 or 3? Like more than anything more than 2 is too much. If it's well in the open and you could pull one tooth, I think that's fine. But anesthesia on anything else, oh my gosh, I could not imagine trying to pull 2 or 3 teeth.
When I was getting my cavity cut out and filled, the guy, he puts numbing stuff up there,
Right.
but he didn't put it like far enough back or something.
Oh, great.
So I felt the needle go straight through my thing because they put like a little like numbing juice, like a gel.
Yeah,
and
but you
then
still
they
feel it.
Put the numbing, like a shot of numbing into your gums. So
That's
Right,
what our aunt
yeah,
was
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
They put the gel, but that doesn't help for the nerve that's back in there when they put that needle in. It's a big needle too.
Yeah.
Did you look at the needle?
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't.
No,
It's
yeah,
probably
it
was
is
cool.
actually.
That whole process was cool.
It
I
is
liked that.
actually like the size of a pin.
It wasn't bad at all.
That's crazy.
But it
Um,
was just like a shock. I was like, come on, I thought you had that.
how long did it take you to do your filling?
That was 20 minutes.
Nice. It's not bad.
Yeah,
It
so
was
it's
just
about the
annoying
same
'cause your lips get
process.
really
It's just
dry.
one's
Well, he had 1 tooth. You had 4.
And you're awake for mine. A completely different process.
right,
Yeah.
but that just
And-
shows that the expense is kind of ridiculous.
I don't know. I didn't know how
Well,
much
you
mine
got
was
there.
cost.
Yours is a bit more
Mine's
specialized.
just a little filling. Everyone has a filling almost.
Yeah, it's not easy to get someone who can do surgery.
Well, sure, it's the doctor and stuff, but how expensive that is for 30 minutes. They charged me
There's a
Yeah.
almost $3,500, almost $4,000 for 30 minutes.
well
You know how many of those they could do in a day?
minus.
It's a little ridiculous.
Now
if
you do
think
have to
about it.
consider now. Okay,
Anesthesia's probably,
now
anesthesia's
hospitals
probably
and insurances and that's all way overpriced. That's all a scam in my opinion. So there is a bit where it's probably that's a bit much.
Yeah,
You know,
it
they could
depends
probably
on
get
what's
away
crazy.
with $2 to $3,000, not 3 to 4. In cost and stuff, but also do keep in mind that a specialist who specializes in surgery is expensive. They've gone through a lot of training and whatnot that they're worth paying for. But yeah, you're probably right that $2,000 would probably be just fine.
Mine, I couldn't imagine it'd be more than $500 for what I did.
But you don't know.
It probably
Yeah.
was.
It's not surgery, but
I bet yours was a little under $1,000
sure.
if I had to guess.
Yeah, no,
You can
it's
ask Mom.
ridiculous. I bet
It's
it
probably right under it's probably right under the deductible.
They know like most deductibles is
Yeah, if deductibles are $1,000, they're gonna make theirs like 8 or 9.
is. Yeah. But anyways, crazy experience. Wouldn't recommend, but obviously if they're growing sideways, just get it done. I think these two I hardly ever felt. It was just the bottom two that always hurt because they had to get the jaw so open. So if you have them just growing and they could pull them, easy peasy. Have them slice it, pull you, you're done. I mean, that's probably like a 10-minute thing. But
So we've been talking about this for like 20 minutes now. My teeth hurt. I don't know what it is. I just kind of feel like my teeth hurt now.
I've been doing a lot of talking, so my jaw kind of is still recovering from.
Well, I feel perfectly fine. I'm not talking, and my teeth don't hurt. Just to give the up.
So Says
I'm
the guy
also
with the
talking
cavity.
from today,
Okay.
but
I don't have a cavity anymore.
from what I did.
I
today,
don't
but,
think
yeah.
I have cavities, but we'll find out in December.
We'll give you guys an update if Ben has a cavity.
Probably will.
Or
We'll see.
needs
So, yeah.
braces, surgery.
Good times, good stories. At least I now can, inform and tell people. And
Yeah, and at some point,
I had one of the worser versions of it, so
Would you recommend that doctor to someone? If they're like, I need to get this, do you know where to go?
I would just recommend the closest one. I can't imagine having to drive back like that for
I know someone who's doing some dental thing, and they have to go
An
to like
hour
an
or
hour or two. And it's like that's long.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
That's the podcast episode.
Yeah,
it is
that
probably about the end.
I gotta get to work.
He's got to get to work.
So you guys need to subscribe so I can make this
Yes.
my work and I can be here longer.
I wish
We
someone would.
are gonna
Just
call
slack
that
us.
over. 24's a wrap. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell if you haven't already. I hope y'all have a blessed day. We'll see you next week. Deuces.
And send your sympathies to Ethan in the chat.
Oh, no, I'm good now.